All right. So good morning, guys. So before we start today's session, I have one quick announcement, guys. Like we started one morning batch as both online and offline. So that is one update. So please refer if you have any friends, please refer them. And then another update is last time we conducted one scripting contest. You might be aware of that. And of course, in your batch also, we planned to conduct, but because of some reasons, we couldn't conduct it because, like we have very few offline participants, right? From last 6 months, most of the people are joining online only, right? So that's why we couldn't conduct it. And now next month I am planning to conduct scripting contest. And this time, I had announced, some cash prizes. And the first prize winner gets 10,000 as a cash prize, guys. Those who are able to complete the script in the given 2 hours of time will get 10,000 as first prize. 10,000, we had fixed 10,000 as first prize, 5,000 as second prize, and 2,000 as third prize. Okay. And the scripting contest will be conducted. I want the current batch guys also to participate. So, I am planning to conduct it in the month of July. Mostly July second week, we'll have that scripting contest. And this would be the venue. Venue will be Madhapur, right? So we are planning to conduct in this venue, the scripting contest in this venue. Okay, where we have, because I'm going to invite some CEOs of any other company. I have some couple of people who are working as CEOs who have their own running their own companies. So they will be coming for the prize distribution ceremony. Okay, and this is open for all the batches, previous batch and current batch. All the any of the previous batch students can attend. You can also attend, and the current batch student also can attend. And tool will be also your choice. You can do that with LoadRunner or JMeter. Only these two tools. You have to choose between LoadRunner or JMeter. Either LoadRunner or JMeter. Okay. So, and we'll give some 2 hours time. And morning we'll conduct scripting contest and we'll invite the guest post lunch, so that we'll have time to evaluate, and the prize distribution will be there. Okay. And every participant will get a participation certificate as well. All right. Every participant will get a participation certificate. If it is full day program, you'll have lunch also. We'll have lunch. If it is half day, you'll have snacks. Every participant. So I'm allocating some around 25 to 30,000 budget for that. 30,000 budget for that, because we need to pay 5 to 10,000 for this venue only. Okay. All right. So are you able to complete that API testing script, guys? Are you able to complete that which one? That registration and login and logout?
Yes, Pawan.
How many of you are able to complete it?
Completed from my end.
Yes.
And please refer, any friends, you will get referral amount. Nice referral amount of 5,000. And if they join online, you will get 2,000 as referral amount. Okay. So please refer for this June batch. Right. So we are at fundamentals only. Today only I had started performance testing types. Today we completed performance test types. Right. So we are still at basics, and tool will be started only by this month end. So you can refer till this month end and you'll be eligible for 5,000 cash prize if they attend offline. But if they attend online, the referral amount will be 2,000 only, which I still feel that it is a good amount, right? And by the way, like I had also announced that so we'll be increasing this scripting contest cash prize by 2030. It will be 1 lakh. First prize winner will get 1 lakh as cash prize for for those who participate in the scripting contest. We are planning to make it as 1 lakh, right? So you may ask me, 1 lakh is too aggressive, right? What do you feel, Sekhar? Do you have Sekhar, Sai Tarun, or Krishna, Mahesh? Is it possible? 1 lakh ఇవ్వడం అయ్యే పనే అంటావా?
ఏమో సార్.
Okay. Krishna?
1 lakh అంటే ముందు జాబ్ తెచ్చుకోవాలి. ముందు జాబ్ తెచ్చుకోవాలి.
1 lakh ఇవ్వడం అయ్యే పని అంటావా? So do you believe that I can give 1 lakh cash prize for scripting contest winner?
నేను 1 lakh గురించి ఆలోచించట్లేదు. ముందు జాబ్ గురించి ఆలోచిస్తున్నాను.
జాబ్ గురించి ఆలోచిస్తున్నాను. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ అయ్యే పని అంటున్నాను.
ముందు మేము అక్కడ దాకా వెళ్ళాలి కదా.
అరే
మేము స్క్రిప్ట్ చేయాలి కదా ముందు అని.
నువ్వు స్క్రిప్ట్ చేయాలి కదా అంటావా? ఓకే,
ఆ,
దట్ ఈస్ ఫైన్. సో అది పక్కన పెట్టు. సో ఈజ్ ఇట్ పాసిబుల్ టు అనౌన్స్ 1 lakh cash prize? That is my question.
ఆ,
Sai Tarun?
ఇది పాసిబుల్ అన్న.
Possible.
Hmm?
ఇది పాసిబుల్ ఆల్సో.
1 lakh అంటే 5 students fees, right? Current
yes.
price, current fees, right?
Yes.
But the fees will be 1 lakh at that time. Okay, training fees also will be 1 lakh at that time. 2030 కి నేను చెప్పేది. ఐఎమ్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ఇయర్ 2030.
Yes.
How is it possible?
ఓకే.
Quite possible, right? Fees 1 lakh తీసుకుంటే like cash prize ఇవ్వడానికి 1 lakh not a big deal, right?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so how many of you are able to complete that script, guys? So for this competition, for this month July competition, we had allocated 30,000 budget for that, right? For venue and snacks and other expenses for logistics. Okay, so because we have to give some gift to the chief guest also, right? Last time we bought a bouquet and one gift also, other gift also. Give this bouquet and we gifted some dry fruit box, some 1,500 dry fruit box each for the chief guest for coming, right? They came from Gachibowli and they spent half day time for us. Okay, that's why like we also gave some gifts to them for coming. Right, so including all that, I am planning to allocate, like I had allocated 30,000 budget for July competition. Okay. Yeah, so where are we? Yes, so who all are able to complete that API testing script, guys? First of all, who all completed that API testing script?
Yeah, complete.
None of you?
Completed.
Yes. Mahesh.
Krishna, you completed the login and logout also?
Yes.
All the correlations and parameterizations also done?
Yeah, completed.
Can you please share the script? Can
Share
you please
the
mail
script?
that script? Can you mail the script or share it through GitHub?
Okay, sure.
Okay. 76 RP. Perfect. Already 10 difference. Krishna, did you share the script? Krishna?
Sharing Anna. Just give me 2 minutes.
And how about others? Mahesh, Narendra, how about others? Sai Tarun, Sekhar, Tejasvi.
కంప్లీటెడ్ పవన్, బట్ పారామీటరైజేషన్ చేయలేదు, కొరిలేషన్ వరకు చేసా.
Okay, please complete it and share the script. Okay, do I need to give the assignment? Guys, see, the same question I was asked, like last month, before last month, maybe March or April, Mindtree has conducted one drive in Hyderabad. And they gave similar question. They gave 2 APIs and they asked to develop a script for that 2 APIs and involving this correlation and parameterization. Okay, and that is the reason like of course we are doing this from last year. AOS application meda I am doing this from almost last year. Right, the similar kind of exercise was given in Mindtree, and those who are unable to do that, they are bluntly rejected. They're rejected, those who can't do that script. Just they gave 2 APIs and they asked to develop a script, and there is a requirement to do correlation and parameterization, and they are seeing like how are you, how much they will understand how much hands-on you are having on that script, on the scripting part.
Anna, can you
And
check
those who failed to do that were bluntly rejected in the first round itself.
I shared through Git.
And by the way, one more update, third update. So we saw some openings for, some different opening this time, which I haven't seen any time before. Okay. So I'll show that opening. Okay. You may not be able to, fit into it, but, because the experience band is high, it is 6 to 8 years, 4 to 8 years. No, not this one. This is Value Labs opening, guys, for 4 to 8 years of experience. JMeter and LoadRunner, regular JD only. This is a regular JD only. However, I saw some different JD yesterday. Okay. So if you see here, this is a regular JD, different types of performance testing, scripting challenges, bottlenecks observed, scripting enhancements, and JMeter and LoadRunner tool. This is a regular JD, right? Whereas, I saw one more requirement, which is a peculiar one. So they're asking something like, performance testing with 3 to 6 years only. So you can attempt this, but the requirement is slightly different. Observe here, they are asking, good understanding of Databricks and Apache Spark, along with performance testing. So if you see here, but like very few people, you will not have a competition at all. First of all, maybe 4 to 5 people only may be applying for this position. Okay, or they will be eligible, only 4 to 5 people will be eligible for this position, right? You can count on count on fingers, because no one will have Databricks, Apache. Very few people, very few people will have exposure to Databricks and Apache Spark and all this. Very few performance engineers, I mean to say. Okay, so what am I planning is, I'm sure that this requirement will not be filled immediately. So we have one, one of my friend is working on Databricks. So I'm planning to arrange one demo on that Databricks. Not demo, it will be a workshop. It will be a 3 to 4 hours workshop on Databricks and Apache Spark. Okay. So that you can attempt this, you can apply for these kind of openings. If you get any kind of these openings, so you can also attempt, our students also can attempt. Okay. And Jenkins, I have a recorded session. Previously also I posted that in my WhatsApp status. You can go through that. DevOps, GitHub, you are already using it. They are asking DevOps, but these are good to have basically. But the main requirement that they mentioned is this Apache Spark and Databricks, right? In the highlights, they mentioned what is performance testing with the understanding of Databricks and Apache Spark, right? And creating Databricks based data pipeline. So we are planning to conduct a workshop on this concept, Databricks based data pipelines. First, you will get an introduction to this, and then I'll also try to cover this Databricks based data pipelines. And CI/CD pipeline, I also, with Jenkins, I did that. I also did that. I can cover that with the CI/CD with Jenkins first, and then the Databricks based pipelines. I am also new to that. So I am, I spoke to one of my relatives, and he expressed he's also having some training experience in Gautam University, right? Um, Gautam University, I think. Yeah. So
Anna,
he agreed for that, for giving a session on that. So you can attend. You can also attend if you are interested. That will be free for our students. Okay, but it will be chargeable for other students, other institute students.
script
Any
shared to
queries?
you. Script
And it
shared to
will
you.
be a offline session only, not online. It will be only offline session. And our students, it is free. For others, it is chargeable.
When are you planning?
What is that?
When are you planning it?
We'll plan it this weekend or most probably this weekend. I'm yet to get confirmation from the trainer on Databricks. So we'll try to fix it, by this weekend or this weekend we'll plan it because requirement may not be open too long, right? So it may not
Apache
be open
Spark.
for too long.
What is for the Apache Spark?
What is?
Apache Spark.
I don't know. I did not get a chance to work on that. Okay.
No, what is the impact with
What
performance
is it?
testing? What is the link between performance testing and the Spark?
So we'll get to know once we explore that, right? Once we'll get to know definitely.
Okay.
Okay. So because I worked on Apache Kafka. I had worked on Apache Kafka, but Apache Spark I also did not work. I also not aware of that. Okay. So we'll get an understanding what is the relation between these two and all. We'll get an understanding, if we know what is Apache Spark and the Databricks, then we'll understand that. Okay. I'll also explore it meanwhile. Yesterday only I saw the requirement. So yeah, so I had worked personally. I had worked on Apache Kafka before. I know that what is the how Kafka is used in performance testing. I am aware of it. But Spark is something Apache Spark is something I also did not work. Okay, so and when I worked on Apache Kafka, I had prepared this PPT at that time. Okay.
It is for data scientists. Actually, there was a requirement for in my company. They asked for Apache Spark. So that time they asked me for whether I know Spark or not for data scientist opening.
Okay.
So it is analytic tool. So, but I don't know how it is linking with the performance testing.
Okay.
If you arrange it, it will be helpful for us.
Yeah, sure. We'll get to know that. We'll get an understanding. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So let me,
And the script I shared to GitHub,
email ID share చేస్తావు కృష్ణ?
I think Perf test.
MGM training ka? Perf test ka? I did not receive it somehow. Okay, and please plan for participating in the scripting contest. Okay, so I am planning to invite Qualizil India head this time. Okay, so this time I am planning to invite our one of my previous company Qualizil's India head, Madhumurthy sir. I am planning to invite him. So we'll get some. We are expecting they are having a team of 20 people performance testing. So maybe if they have any requirement, they will come to us, or they may announce on the spot also. Okay, that we want to conduct a drive for us our students. So that is what I am expecting. I got a word from them that they will conduct a drive for our students, separate drive for our students, including freshers. So please plan to participate in the scripting contest which we are planning next month. Okay. So yeah. Now let us go back to that. I did not receive Krishna somehow. Okay. Any queries or any issues that you are facing in this? Krishna, I did not receive it. Can you please check it if the mail is delivered or not?
Okay.
Pawan, that REST API in AOS, right? So when we execute it, there is a 3 steps are followed. One is curl command is created, and then out response is generated. So can we create the curl command through the HTTP request? Is it a kind of API testing or that is different?
Can we create curl command?
In
No,
JMeter.
that is curl command is just for our reference. what header, they wanted to show us what are the important headers and all. That is why they are displaying. That's it. Doesn't have
curl-
any significance.
Yes, curl command is also having header and then data is there. So
So
we can use that in JMeter, right?
there is an option called import call. I'm just trying to show that. But I did not use it anytime. But there is an option.
That cannot be considered as API testing, huh? That cannot
No,
be
that is not considered as API testing, right? So in JMeter, you have an option called import from curl or something. So that is for creating the script. That is not related to performance testing. Okay.
Okay.
JMeter started. Let us try that. I'll try to. I want to copy that curl command. What is it? What iOS application is showing, and let us see if we can create a script by importing that curl command. So if you observed, right? So options lone you have an option called import from curl. Okay. Meanwhile, what will we do is we'll go to advantage. JMeter is taking time to come up somehow. Okay. So meanwhile, what will we do is I'll copy that curl command and I'll try to yeah. So observe here. So in options are no, not in options, tools. In tools you have something called import from curl. Import from curl, and it is saying create test plan from curl, isn't it? So I didn't try this anytime before, but let me try. Let me try to copy that curl command and let us see. I'm not sure whether it works or not. Let's give a try, right? We don't lose anything. We are not launching any rocket, right? So let us try this user registration script, that user registration API. Let me try that user registration API. Let me try to execute it. Okay. So shouldn't take much time. And I'll execute this and we'll get that curl command, right? I'm repeating it again, so it may not work. I'm not sure. But you have a copy option here to copy that. And let me see what got copied into. Let me show you what got copied into that from that curl command. So ideally that one line should be copied. This line, this curl -x post, this should be copied. All right. So that one line got copied. Now what will you do is, let me try this. What is this? How does this import from curl works? Okay, I'll paste it and add cookie manager to add cookie header to cookie manager. Read, okay. Now let me click on create test plan. Wonderful, right? It created something, but created from curl on 19 June, 18 June, sorry, 18 June. You see that, it copied that server name, protocol, and resource path, right? Post request, and headers are added automatically, right? Headers are added automatically. And now let us try to execute this. So view results tree also added, right? So this is curl demo. I'll call it as curl demo. Oh, that gave some user load also, right? And you see these are JMeter properties. I'll cover that. Like I mean, not that important, not so important, but I'll explain. I had used these properties, JMeter properties. We'll discuss it later. So for now, I will run the script with only one user. And one iteration. So, but I'll note it down. Wait, properties. I need to cover JMeter properties also. So basically, this will be used mostly for product-based companies. If you are working in product-based companies, you will mostly you will come across you need to use those JMeter properties. Okay. Of course, even if it is service-based company, you can use it. But I had worked it when I had used it when I was working for SAP Labs, where we have a particular requirement to use that properties, JMeter properties. I'll explain it. What is the requirement? What is the context and all? I'll explain that. So for now, I am running with one user, one lamp of period as 1 and lamp loop count as 1. So to see if the script is correct. By the way, we need test data, right? Where is the test data? Do we have the test data here? Oh, where is the test data? We have only account user, account type, and address. That's it. See, this was not created properly. Test data is missing, right? Yes or no? So
Yes,
actually,
body
the
data.
string,
Body
that
data? Body data.
body data, you have the same thing here also. Okay. No, but this is a shortcoming. Like it has created partially, isn't it? Account type and address are not enough, right? We need to pass for user registration. This is user registration API. So for which we require, user first login name, email ID, and all those details. But somehow it did not include. It was unable to include it. Maybe there is maybe there is a bug or this is not working in this version. Okay, but there is no point in running this. But it tried to create a script. But why? Why is it so? Why is it failing? I don't understand. Okay, we'll do one thing. So we'll copy it manually. Okay. We can copy it manually, right? Till where it copied high tech city work high tech till high tech it did. Okay. I think there is a space there. That is why maybe it did not. We'll do one thing, guys. I'll do one thing. So you understood, guys? There is a space in that high tech. After high tech, there is a space, right? Maybe that is the reason it failed. It failed to create. What will we do is, let us remove that space. Okay, we'll use camel case. Then it should work. It should work because like as it created a script, it should work. It should work perfectly fine. Let me try that. I am suspecting that it failed because of that space. Now let me execute. User registration, user created successfully, right? Now I will copy the call command. You have an icon here to copy, right? Now go to JMeter and we'll create a new instance. Okay. So or else can I delete this? I delete the test. Okay, let us take a new instance. Where is your batch folder?
అన్న డైరెక్ట్ మెయిల్ చేశాను
Hmm?
స్క్రిప్ట్ డైరెక్ట్ మెయిల్ చేశాను సాఫ్ట్ టెస్ట్ కి
Direct mail. Yeah, I got it. Oh, where is your folder?
Second folder. Second folder.
Oh. Yeah, I'll come back to this. Just give me a moment. Let us finish that. Let me copy that curl command, right? Copied that curl command. Launch JMeter. Go to tools. Import from curl. We should get it perfectly. I think that is because of that space only. It is unable to do that. We don't have any other spaces anywhere else, right? Okay. I don't see any spaces other than that. Now let us try to create a test plan. Okay. Now it got created. So you can see here successfully created HTTP requests. Now close it and let us see that. Yeah. Now you can see that it created all the data. You can see all the test data, isn't it? Or if you see the body data, you can see it clearly. You have the entire test data, right? And now let us try to simply let us try to execute this script. Okay. So I'll save it in your batch folder called demo. I'll replace it. Do you want to overwrite? Say yes. Okay. Please. Order manager. Yeah. And let us run the script. We need to check we need to take care of the data, right? Isn't it? So this user is, or else let us run it. What is, it says that username already exists, right? If the user is already registered, it will say that, username already exists. That's it, right? Let us run and see that. Let's get an error. I want to simply run the script to generate. Hey, sorry, I missed it. So here they gave, number of users as 10, ramp up period 30, and test duration is, like 3600 means 1 hour test, right? So let us give, like let's not specify these. I'll give 111 default. I will go with the default values. So it may fail. Let it fail. Okay. So it is failing. Obviously, it is failing. Why is it failing? Internal server error. We are getting internal server error. Why is it so? Anyone? Let's see. Let's see. I'll run the script and see what is the issue. Okay. The script failed with internal server error. Let us see what request was sent. Is this correct post data? Account type, user address. What response we got? That is important, right? We are getting 500 internal server error. What can be the reason, guys? What can be the reason? Account service, account REST API, V1 register. Request is correct, right? So cookie manager, did you select cookie manager? Cache manager lakpena parledu, that is fine. But any guess why is it failing? If the username is already existing, right? So it should throw some
data error.
It should,
Data
it should be a
error.
data error, yeah. Post data wrong and all, right? What do you feel? What might be the reason? Shall we change the data and see that? So I'll make it as 1620. And it is enough if you have this login name as unique, right? Okay, I'll
Yes.
change the mail ID also. Rest all is fine, isn't it? Header manager kuda, we got those two important headers, right? Still getting, let us see. If it is because of existing user ID, it should show that username already exists. But we are getting a 500 internal server error. Post account service, account rest, v1 register. Resource path is correct only. Do you see any errors here? Any issues here in the request?
Now, in server name, remove the www.
What is it?
In server name, remove the www.
Entity?
HTTP request lo
Ah,
server name
ah.
www. Remove that www.
You want me to remove that? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll change the data also, just to avoid any confusion. Seems to be a data issue also for me. Maybe this, let's see. No, it seems to be a data issue only for me. So I think, like this slash is causing that issue. That is what I am believing at the moment. Right? So we can't use that curl command directly then in that case, right? We can't just copy paste, that curl command directly. Explore it, remove that backward slash and try it. Please try it from your side and try to fix that issue. But when they have an option, it should work, right? It should not fail like this, right? Reading curl commands from file, and we can specify the file name, add cookie manager. Okay. Explore it, guys. Try to explore it and try to fix that issue. Maybe it is because of this backward slash. You remember, like data should go in double quotes, right? So if you see here, if you see here, right? So data, they embedded that. I'll do one thing. So what will I do is, can we replace that backward slash with double quotes? Is that enough? Yes or no?
Yes, you can run.
Let us try that. Okay. I think I can't do it here. Control C, Control F. Can I do that here? Double quotes to try చేద్దాం. Do replace all. 52 occurrence, but where did it replace? Oh, okay. It replaced over here. Body data lo replace చేస్తుంది. But why is it showing in param? Okay. Let us try the script. Let me clear the highlighting. Clear the previous results. And I'll change the data also this time. So 21 ఉంది. Yeah, 21. I'll make it 22. Oh, super. Now the request is successful. New user created successfully, right? Now now it is very easy to create a script, right? But but don't try this case. You should know what is the purpose of each element. You should know that, right? Don't try this shortcut. Okay. Please don't try this shortcut to create the script, API script, because you should know what is the purpose of each element, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
But this is good. Like this option is good, right? If you don't have time, you can quickly use this, isn't it? If you have the curl command, you can quickly use that and you can create a script with just one click, right? Okay. Even I tried and learned something new today. Share direct email. And that is why I always say this, right, in the demo. So, IT career is, learning will be never ending, right? Learning will be never ending, right? Right?
Yes.
Still learning. Yeah. Yeah. Now, let me check Krishna's script. So where is user registration? Krishna, login చేసా okay. P username, P password, okay, P username. This is fine. Logout low, we are getting a token. Did you correlate that token and pass it here? Okay. So you correlated that token under this from this login request. Yes, user ID and token. Perfect. User ID and token you correlated from this response of this request. And then you pass it that request over there. Perfect. Okay.
User registration above that group is then
Huh?
AOS registration.
Okay. మళ్ళీ దీనికి separate file ఎందుకు? Why
Pawan,
did you
can
create separate
you
file for CSV file for user registration and separate file for login? You can keep it into same CSV file, right?
No, because already registered user only login, right?
అవునమ్మా, first registration will be done, right? First
Okay.
registration will be done here by using the data from the file, and then you can use the same data, right?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes,
We don't
yes.
require a CSV file again here. Whatever user that got registered with this AOS registration, you can use the same user ID. Agree?
Okay.
Others also, please do the script in this way. First, you need to run AOS, AOS user registration API, and you will fetch the username and password from the file. Now, once that user ID and password are created, right, then you pass the same username and password here, and you need to capture the user ID and token for the same username or for the same user.
Okay.
Right?
In
So
that
don't
case,
pass separate CSV file for login.
In that case, shall we give the CSV on top in that plan?
You can give CSV on the top of at the test plan level.
Okay.
So give the CSV file at the test plan level. Okay.
Okay.
can you change the properties of CSV data? Recycle on end of the file is the true, make it as false.
Yes. Hey, please give me a moment, guys. Let me have some water. Okay, one more opening, guys, for Cognizant. Cognizant is having some drive, it seems. When is that? 21st June. 21st June, this weekend, right? So Pan India interview mode is virtual. Okay. PF or Form 16, anyone is mandatory. Important thing to note. Currently serving notice period, okay. Performance engineering mandatory. Testing mandatory. Oh, SAP also mandatory, it seems. Okay. But if you clear, if you clear, like, I mean, if you do good in LoadRunner and JMeter, they will, Cognizant, as it is a service-based company, they will hire you guys, or they will seriously consider your profile. Okay. So, but you, as they mentioned that it is SAP, you need to mention that you are having some experience on SAP web application at least. Mention that you have some experience on SAP web application. That is enough. Okay. Else. Shall we discuss the properties? So there is a simple concept. Shall we discuss these properties as we came across that in the call command? Guys, am I audible?
Yes.
Let us, this is a simple concept. We'll discuss it.
Okay.
I'll remove this one. Okay. Yeah. So JMeter properties, we'll discuss, we'll discuss that for today. So what is this JMeter properties? So if you see the So I had used this in SAP when I was working for SAP Labs organization client. So I had used these properties actually, and this is the screenshot that I took at that time. At that time itself only, I took this screenshot and kept it over here, by the way. And this command also, even this command also, I had used the same command. I had modified it basically, but I copied that skeleton from there, right? And yeah, now let us understand what are these JMeter properties. Okay, let me explain the scenario first. Okay, usually when this is a May batch, right? Usually, like this will be very much useful when you want to execute multiple test runs. Or else, let me explain my scenario where where or why I had to use that JMeter properties, right? So when I was working for SAP Labs, right? You know that SAP Labs is a what is it famous for?
CRM tool.
CRM. Is it a CRM application? SAP is famous for ERP, right?
ERP, sir.
Yeah. Right. So, like when you are working for any product, so first of all, SAP is famous for ERP software. ERP software means, enterprise. ERP stands for
Enterprise Resource Plan.
huh?
Enterprise Resource Plan.
Enterprise resource planning, right? ERP stands for enterprise resource planning. Okay. So when I was working for that company, right? So SAP, is a product-based company. So they have some product called, I had worked on a product called Sales Cloud Analytics. Okay, ANALYTS, Sales Cloud Analytics. Sales Cloud Analytics, which is a cloud application, okay, which is running in AWS Cloud. So I had to do performance testing for that SAC or SCA application. They used to call it as SAC. Short form, they used to call it as SAC. Sales Analytics Cloud. Okay, Sales Cloud Analytics or Sales Analytics Cloud, right? So there is a product which is developed by Infosys called Sales Analytics Cloud, and and that product they sell it, any product they will sell it for multiple customers, right? They will not sell it to only one customer. They can customize the product, and they sell it for multiple customers, like Dell. These are the clients: Dell, HP, or Maruti, and 3M, right? 3M, and there are multiple clients for that product, right? Now every client, for every client, they have to do performance testing. Not only selling, but they used to also maintain that. They used to do the client onboarding, and they used to do that maintenance as well, right? So now maintenance in the sense, like they have to do all types of testing in their environment, right? So they need to SAP used to do that, charge for that also. Of course they also charge for that as well, right? Now each client requirement will be different, right? Suppose Dell requirement is like Dell, let's say for example, they sold this product to Dell, and Dell was having a user load of only 1000. Okay, but HP was having a user load for this. There will be some, let's assume that there will be 5000 users in HP who use that particular product. Okay, and let's say Maruti. Let us take Maruti example. They may be having 10,000 user load. 10,000 users may be using that particular product, this particular product, right? And 3M is an international company, and they are having, let's say, 50,000 users, and 3M is an international company, right? So let's assume that there are 50,000 users who use that product. Now now the testing, now we will create a script, let's say for example, but all the critical business flow will be same, right? The important business flows for all the clients will be same. Agree? The same product, because the product is same, but only the user load different. The user load is different for different clients. Target user load is different for different clients. Understood or no? The critical business flows or scripts will be same. Agree? Yes or no? But the URL will be different. Server name will be different for each client. Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's audible.
So business flows will be same. Critical business flows will be same. Agree? Because it is the same application. So critical business flows will be same for all the clients. Agree or no?
Yes, domain will be different.
Right? But your server name will be different, isn't it? If Dell is using that, server name may be Dell dot something, Dell.sac.dell.com. Server name will be different for in each scenario. Clear, guys? Will be different for each client, right? It will be something like this. If Dell is using that, the server name will be Dell.sac.com. Okay. Or if HP is using it, it will be HP.sac.com. Right? Or if Maruti is using it, they may be having a domain name like this, Maruti.sac.com. Or 3M is using, if 3M is using, it may be 3M.sac.com. So the server name changes from one client to another client. So when you parameterize when you make the script portable, right? Obviously you will parameterize you will define that as a user defined variable, and you will pass that user defined variable. You can change that domain name from the user defined variables, isn't it? That is one option that you already know, right? Do you know that or don't know?
Yes, we have already done it. Yeah.
Yeah,
For the
so we already discussed it, how to make the script portable, and all
script
was already
portability,
discussed, isn't it? Now, fine, you made the script portable, and once our scripts are ready, right? We need to execute the test on some Linux machines. Okay. Client SAP gave me some remote, load generator machines, but those are Linux machines, and those are actually CentOS machines, actually. CentOS, right? CentOS is one flavor of Linux,
Linux.
right? So for executing, right, SAP Labs gave me CentOS operating system. I'm not that much proficient on Linux commands at that time. This is before pandemic, guys. Okay. I did not get, opportunity to work on Linux commands from 2015 to 2020. I didn't get a chance. So I lost touch with for 5 years. Now then I had to quickly brush up those Linux commands. I did that. I was able to brush up those. I was the only resource. There is no other option. I only have to do it, right? I was working as an individual contributor at that time. Okay. I was working in IC role. IC means individual contributor. So I was the only one performance test resource for for that particular product, for this SAC product. That project I was the only single resource, right? So I had quickly brushed up Linux commands in just 2-3 days. We don't have much time. Also, I spent some weekend and I had brushed up those Linux commands. And then now here is the challenge. So I need to do performance testing. I need to conduct a series of tests. First, I need to conduct with Dell. And then I need to conduct for HP. I need to conduct for Maruti, for 3M, right? I alone have to do that. And each client user load is different. Each client, load generator machines are different. One gave, CentOS. One gave me Red Hat Enterprise Linux. For one client, we have Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Or else, even if it is the operating system, I mean, if the load generator machine is same operating system, having same operating system also, the user load is different for each client. So obviously your ramp up period also changes from user to user, right? With user load, your ramp up period also changes. Agreed. And I need to conduct different types of test. Okay. I need to conduct load test. I need to conduct soak test. These are mandatory at least, isn't it? Now for load test, duration will be different. Soak test duration will be different. Agree?
Yes.
And one more thing. Suppose if your target user load is 5,000, let's assume that your target user load is 5,000. So you will do load test for with how much user load? Suppose client says that my target user load is 5,000 and I want to do both load test and soak test, right? So what user load will you apply for load test and how much for soak test?
Load test we will do 5,000 only.
Load test will give 5,000. Okay. How about soak test? Yes. So if your target user load for load test is 5,000, what user load you need to apply for soak test? We didn't discuss this.
No, this topic would because soak test it is long process. Long duration test.
That is long duration test, right?
The endurance checking, right? Endurance checking.
Soak or endurance test?
Endurance.
Soak or endurance test, both are same, right? So you understood my question or no?
Yeah, understand.
If the target user load for load test is 5,000, what user load do you need to apply for the soak or endurance test?
Duration
Same load?
may be different.
Right. So you need not run the soak test with 5,000 user load. If your target user load is 5,000, for soak test, you can go up to 60 to 80% of the target user load. 60 to 80% is enough. Okay. That means how much? 3,000 to 4,000 is enough for soak test. Because, soak test is long duration test. You will not have, suppose, this load test peak load 5,000 and what does that mean? That is the peak user load in a particular day. That would be the peak user load, right? Load test is something which we do with peak load for an application, isn't it? Expected peak load. Remember, guys? Normal expected peak load. We do load test with expected peak load for 1 to 2 hours, isn't it? Now, but when you are executing a soak test, soak long duration test, you need not test with 5,000. It is enough if you test with 3,000 to 4,000 users. Either 3,000 or 4,000, doesn't matter. You take 60 to 80% of the target user load. Understood, guys?
Yeah, in that case, we are doing the load test in 2 hours of 5,000 users, but in soak test 3,000 or 4,000, that will
for number of hours, it depends on the business hours of the application. For
within 1.5
business hours of the application. right? So client should tell that, how much time the client, their customers will be using that, or how many number of business hours will be there for that application. Client will be aware of that. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Makes sense, guys. For soak test, we need not execute with 5,000 user load, because if your application is having peak load, at particular time, that load, that load will not be there throughout the day, right? Agree?
Yeah, with 1 or 2 hours maximum.
Right. So 1 second, 1 second, guys. Did you understand the requirement, guys? So, I need to execute the same script for multiple clients and multiple with different types of tests also. Not only multiple clients, but different types of tests. So that way we have, if we need to execute 2 type of tests for 5 clients, we need to have, we need to maintain 10 script copies, but that is not a good idea, right? That's not really a good idea to maintain, separate scripts for each client, because, the application is same. It is the same application. So there is no point in maintaining different scripts for different clients and all, right? Which is a tedious one. But if you use JMeter properties, you can, you can handle this scenario very easily or very comfortably. Let me show you let me take one of the dry run, TGH dry run తీసుకుంటాను. I'll take TGH dry run, right? So here, in the thread properties, instead of giving, the, let us take only one script for this demo purpose. Okay. I'll take, TGH user registration script. Let us take, no, I don't want to save it. I'll take only one script, right? And let us say, instead of giving the values here directly, instead of giving the user load and all here directly, what can I do is I can make use of this JMeter properties. And how to use that JMeter properties? Here you have that. I gave the example over here. Okay. So, let me use that. Let me copy that here. Now, $symbol curly bracket, this is double underscore. Please remember, this is double underscore hyphen P followed by property name. Property name, I will give it as number of threads or num threads. And then I will give default value as 1000. Okay. And for similarly for ramp up period also, I will define it as a property. And this one I will give it as P ramp up. You can give P num threads. That is, that is better. It's better to give that, P num threads are, like this, and give some default value. Okay, ramp up period. Let us say we want to ramp up this 1000 users in 1000 seconds. Let's assume. So I will define, instead of hard coding the values, if you give, if you define properties like this, okay, loop count will not give. Usually we'll specify the duration and we'll give like this again, duration, test duration, P test duration, and give the default value. Usually, like load test, we used to do for 1 hour. So 1 hour means how many seconds? 3600 seconds, correct? 3600 seconds,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Now, once you define the properties, right? Now you copy the script to the remote machine. And once you define these properties, right, you need not change these values every time. You need not open the script and change these values every time. What you can simply do is you can pass the values for this for these num threads, ramp up period, and test duration from the command prompt. You can pass these values from the command prompt. If you don't pass any values, it will take the default values, which are specified in the script. Understood, guys? Now let me show you how to do that. How to pass the values from the command prompt is, I kept a sample command here. You need to run the test like this. Once you open JMeter in command prompt, right? Or once you open that command prompt, right? Non-GM mode, right? So you need to give the script name over here. This is your test plan name. And then -J followed by num threads. Okay. So, I'll remove this small p, not required, not mandatory. Okay. That will complicate further. I'll, define this as, just num threads, ramp up. Right. Save the script and you copied the scripts to Linux machine, to the remote machine. Now you want to run this user registration script for Dell client, right? You don't specify any values for that properties because it will take default values. If you don't specify any values for this, it will take default values. I will do one thing. I will run this with 100 users, 100 ramp up as 100, and to save some time, to in the interest of time, I will make like this, right? So this I will make it as duration as 300, and you need to close the bracket. Clear, guys? Now now where is our script? April 2025 evening batch script review, Vijay. Oh, why did I take this script up? 1 second. Did you share? Your scripts are already shared to me, right? Script review. Krishna, ఇప్పుడు ఏం AOS user registration share చేసావు కదా?
API.
Oh, this is APIs, right? These are APIs, huh?
Normal.
These are GUI testing scripts only, right?
On GUI only.
These are GUI testing scripts only, isn't it? So let me copy, let me do that one, okay? Now, can you tell me how to define the properties? Yes?
$curly brace.
I'll do one thing. I'll save it with some other name. JMeter Properties demo antan, so that I'll have a different script. Yeah. Now, how to define, how to avoid the hard-coded values see here, and how can we define the properties?
$curly braces.
Dollar. Do I need to give dollar? Did I say like that? Right? Yeah. Dollar.
Curly braces.
Curly bracket.
Underscore.
Double underscore.
P.
Num threads. Right?
P bracket.
Num threads, comma, default value. Okay. So num threads of, function. This is basically, this is a double underscore capital P. Okay. We need to go double underscore capital P. And this is a function basically. That capital P is a function. That properties is a function. Am I correct? P followed by property name, default value. And you need to close that bracket, that normal bracket and then curly bracket, right? This is how a property looks like. So in this way, you need to specify the values, right? So this is ramp up period. So change the property name to ramp up period. And then
duration.
Touch duration. Okay. Touch duration, I will give it as 300. 300 and how many minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. Now, once you define this as a property, right? What next? Save the script, copy the script to your load generator machine, which is the Linux machine. And now you open a command prompt. Everything is a command prompt there. There is no GUI there, isn't it? So you will do this on your local machine, on your office laptop. And once you are done with this, to copy the scripts, how do you copy the scripts from Windows to Linux? We need to copy the scripts from Windows box to Linux box. How can we do that? If it is Windows box, if your load generator machine is also Windows box, how can you copy it?
Path we need to copy. Path, script path.
Script path. If you copy the path,
shared location.
Is it enough if you copy the path? You need to copy the script. You need to copy the test data files, isn't it? So we can use some tools, or we can copy it directly from here. When you are establishing a remote desktop connection, right? If you go to options, right, you have something called local resources. If you need to select the clipboard. If you select the clipboard and you connect, you connect to the remote machine, and you can do copy paste, but that will take a lot of time. That will take a lot of time. Remember this. If you are trying to copy from on remote desktop connection, that will take a lot of time. Okay. And not reliable also. but that is where you use some tools like WinSCP. Okay, you use a tool like WinSCP, right? So is asking for upgrade. Okay, let me upgrade. It is 1 year before it seems.
FileZilla.
You can use FileZilla. Yes. You can. There are a lot of other tools. Okay, so there are a lot of other tools. So WinSCP is one popular tool that will be used in most of the companies or most of the performance engineers, right? So you'll use that. It is upgrading. I need to upgrade it. There is no option. It is not showing any option to cancel it, I think. So now let me run this WinSCP. Let me install that WinSCP. Simple tool. Okay, full upgrade recommended. Done. Now click finish. Once you click finish, it will be launched automatically. Okay. After installation. Okay. So this is how it looks like, right? This is how a WinSCP tool looks like. If you want to connect to a remote machine, you need to click on new site. You need to enter the server name here. Your load generator machine host name should be given here, and port number for this is 22. And then you need to enter the credentials over here. You need to enter the credentials over here, and then like you can connect to the remote machine. And left side, this left side box represents local machine, and right side box represents remote machine. Okay. Of course, you can change it, but usually by default, left side box represents local machine, and right side box represents remote machine. Once you connect to the remote machine, you can drag and drop like this. You can drag and drop the files like this. Once you establish the connection. Clear, guys? So WinSCP is one popular tool that is used for file transfer. Okay. And once you copy the script on the remote machine, you open a command prompt, right? You need to install JMeter. You need to install Java. You need to install JMeter, right? And once you go to your, remote machine, right? So first you need to start JMeter from the command prompt. And this is how we start from the command prompt, isn't it? So JMeter.bat, right? And then my scripts are there in a different folder, isn't it? Where are my scripts? My scripts are there in a different folder. Which one is this? Krishna script?
Then
yeah, right. My scripts are there in this folder. So I'll close WinSCP. Okay. And where is that command prompt? Yeah, JMeter.bat. Now you need to give the script path here. By the way, we need to execute in non-GM mode, right? So we have to give -n followed by -t, followed by your script name, right? But your script is there in a different folder, isn't it? So I need to give the full path now. I need to give the full path or relative path, right? Yes or no? So I'll copy this full path, right? And we need to give the path first, the script path first. And then inside that folder, what is the script name? What is the script name inside that folder, guys? This is the script name. Just rename and copy that name. Okay, copy that name and go to command prompt, and you simply paste it here. Right click and to paste it. So we gave the JMeter form batch file name followed by -n followed by -t followed by the script name. And then you need to pass the properties. Suppose, in the script I gave it as, let's say in the script I gave as 100. Okay. But I want to execute, you can execute a test without passing the properties first. But if you want to execute the test for 100 users, right, with the default values, then you can, you can run the script, without passing any parameters. Okay. Without passing any values for this properties. You can simply click on run because, it will run with the default values. If you don't specify any values, it will run with the default values. But you need to give the script name followed by -l and results file name, right? We want to collect the results also, isn't it? So you simply give -l followed by, I want to create the results file also in the same folder. as my script, right? So what will I do is I'll copy the path, paste it here, and I'll give the result file, the JTL file name, user registration.jtl. Okay. I am not passing any values for number of users or ramp up period or duration. So still you can run the script even though it defined as a property. But what values will be considered is whatever default value we
Default
give
value.
here, the test will run with that much user load. As simple as that. Clear, guys? The script may not run, script may not be successful because I am not taking care of the test data. But that is not important. I want to show you how to run the script using properties and without using properties. Right? Now the test is started, right? What is it saying? Plan JMeter properties demo. What is this? AOS. Oh, Krishna. Don't see, people are still doing these kind of mistakes. Don't, I asked you not to use space in the space, but use camel case. But still you are using space, right?
లేదన్నా ఇది ఎప్పుడో స్టార్టింగ్ లో చేసింది.
Okay. So, let me rename the script. That will cause unnecessary issues. Okay. And you see what kind of issues we'll get. So
స్టార్టింగ్ లో
don't,
చేసి
okay. Starting లోనే చెప్పాను కదా నేను, I did not say it in the middle, right? Anyways, so let me open the script command prompt again. Now what is the command, guys? JMeter or JMeter.bat. You can use simply JMeter also. This will also work. -n -d followed by your test plan name. So my test plan is there in this path, right? What is my test plan name? AOS hyphen testplan.jmx. No, not this one. JMeter properties.jmx, right?
-l
And then followed by -l followed by -l. Give small l.
small.
Hyphen, I don't know whether capital L works or not. I'm not sure. You can check that. Okay. And now followed by user registration.jtl. Let's say.
JTL.
Okay. User registration, I'll give today's date, 18th June.jtl. Okay. Now sorry guys. So we need to open the command prompt in JMeter bin folder, guys, not here. You need to open command prompt in bin folder, not here, because see, observe here, what is the issue that it is throwing? Or, oh, I have closed it. So basically, if you open JMeter in, you can't open JMeter in some other path, isn't it? You need to open JMeter in this path only because you have the JMeter batch file in this path only, isn't it? So better, use this command, open this command prompt in the same path, and then give your command -n-t followed by path is already there copied. No. Yes, path is already copied. Let me go to that path.
Tab.
Script preview. Krishna. AOS user registration. This one, right?
Yes.
Now this is the path where my script is there. So, and then what is my file name? What is my file name? AOS. AOS hyphen test plan. Right? AOS hyphen test plan. JMeter properties demo.jmx. Right? Done. And now I need to give the results file name. So again, give the path -l followed by the path followed by the result file name. I'll give test plan result file name as AOS test 18th June.jtl. Now your script will run with 100 users because I am not specifying any values from the command prompt, isn't it? I had used properties in JMeter. Observe here, test started now successfully, right? Test was started successfully. And the test will run with, like this script will be running with, where is that? I'll close this one. Where is the script? The test will run with how many users?
100 users.
100 users, because I gave default values. I gave default value as 100, isn't it? I'll show you the JMeter in, let me open JMeter in GUI mode and show that. Let us check that. Right? So we gave some default values over here, right? 100, 100 and test duration as 300, right? Now test will run for 100 users, right? But do you have enough test data, Krishna? How much data we have in that? Let it fail, test may fail. Users.csv, let me check that still. Okay, yeah, you got a lot of data. Okay, thank you. I think 1000, right? Okay, 874. 874 users are there, right? So, like now test will run with 100 users for 5 minutes. Because, I gave default values over here. Those are the default values that I gave. 100 users, ramp up period is 100, and then duration is 5 minutes. Now let us go to JMeter and see the, let us go to bin folder. And how can we verify it with how many users the test is running? Can we verify it? Or can we verify if there are any errors?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we
Log.
can verify.
Yes, yes.
How to verify that?
JMeter log.
Yeah.
Bin
Go
folder,
to bin
JMeter.
folder and open jmeter.log file. This is the one that we are running, right? 115. Yes. This should be the log file. And you'll see what do you need to search? Thread space started. Thread started. You can see the count of it. See 53 users. The test is running with 53 users currently. Because we get ramp up period as 100 seconds. 100 seconds ante 1.5 minute kada. So, but but at what time test is started? Inka from 100 minutes avleda. Maybe 100 minutes is not completed, right? What time the test is started? Can you see that here? Can you see the test start time in the JMeter log anywhere in the JMeter log? Can we see the test start time in the JMeter log?
Yeah, we can see.
Huh?
We can see in the JMeter start time it is there, no?
Hey, what happened? Running the test run, it should be there. How come? Wrap around normal. Running. Should see that message. Why is it not showing here? At what time it is running? 1860. This is the current time only, right? Maybe some error. Test was stopped. No, some users are ramped up, right? That started any. We are seeing 63, Ona. Seems like messages are being overwritten. That started. AOS user registration. So you can see like 48 users started. But at what time test is started? At what time the test is started? Okay, I think I had accidentally closed it or what? Okay, test is completed. Okay, understood. Test is completed. Test was started at 13 and completed at 19, isn't it? So test was run for 5 minutes. And you can check the user load also. If you check the user load, it will be 100 only. Okay. You can check that from the JDL file. Okay. Let me see this. Okay, 1 second, guys. Someone is calling repeatedly. Just give me a minute. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm speaking on mute. So how many users we are trying to run the test, guys?
100 users.
100 users. And the duration 5 minutes, right? So
Yes.
if you observe here, you ramp up. Oh, Okay, thread started, we are seeing 100, 1-100. Okay. See the count, right? Thread started. See the count, it is 53. Why is it showing 53 only? Okay, it started from 49. Okay. But actually, no, this is not the expected thing. File overwrite ayinadi. Why? How come it is overwritten? Okay. Anyways, so like you can see here, right? Now you can see that test was started with 100 users, but file got overwritten. That is a different story. So, but you can see that it went up to 100 for iOS user registration. It went up to 100, and test was stopped in between. Observe here. The reason is, what is the reason? End of file users.csv detected for CSV dataset. So basically, the whatever data we gave, right, that is not enough for 5 minutes test. That is why test was stopped. That is why test was stopped and test is not successful. Clear, guys? Because like the given data is sufficient, maybe for how many iterations? Maybe for 4 or 5 iterations, isn't it? Yes or no? How much data do we have here? How much data do we have? We have only 874 user IDs. So data, that data will be sufficient for only 8 iterations, isn't it? For 100 users into 8 iterations, 100 into 8, 800. But after that, we had said that like recycle and end of file is set to false, right?
Stop.
For user registration, it should be set to false, isn't it? Right. So that is why test was stopped. Stop thread and end of file is set to true, isn't it? So that is why test was stopped in the middle, right? However, like but it ran for 100 users. Do you agree? Or else I'll do one thing. We'll run for just 10 users or 20 users. I'll do one thing. Now we will see the properties. Okay. But you understood, right? Test was like it took values from it took default values currently. Agree?
Yes.
Because we did not pass any values from the command prompt. Now what will we do is I will try to run the test by using JMeter properties now. Okay. So enter Goti. Now now script name and the JMX file name remains the same, isn't it? Script name and JMX file name should be changed. Sorry, JTL file name should be changed. Okay, run2 enter. Okay, I'll call it as run2 or test2.jtl. You should change the file name. Otherwise, it will say that JTL file is already existing. You'll get another error. If you want to see, I'll show that. If you want to see, I'll show that if you use the same JTL file, test will not be started. Test will not be started. I remember, or I think. Oh, test was started already. How come? Did I change the file name? AOS. Okay. See, you could run adjacent. That is why it got started. Sorry. You understood? I added that run. I removed that number, but I added that run. Okay. So what is the JTL file name that I gave? This one, 18June.jtl. You can't run the test with the same JTL file. The test will fail saying that JTL file is same or JTL file is not empty. Huh?
It will override, na?
It overwrites. Okay, right. It's overwrites. Overwrites. It overwrite.
Yes.
That is what it is happening. Otherwise, test will not be started. Yeah, it is overwriting. It is overwriting the existing file, the existing one, right? But if you so that's why you always use a new JTL file every time you start run the test, right? Always use if you don't want to overwrite, give a new JTL file name. That is one thing. So I'll give the name as run2. Now, let's say I want to run the test with only 10 users. So how can I do that is after the JTL file name, right? You can give -J, capital J, capital J. Okay. After the JTL file name or before the JTL file name, it doesn't matter whether it will work, whether wherever you go, it will work. So -J followed by num threads. We defined some properties, right? So -J followed by num threads is equal to 20, right? And then -J followed by, what else do we want? We want to change the ramp up also, because ramp up period also changes. Ramp up period changes, target user load changes, test duration changes for every client. So ramp up period also I'll give it as 20. Okay. If in J followed by ramp up period is equal to 20, right? So this is how you need to pass the property values. I had I gave an example here in the PPT, or in the Word document, you will have those. So next -J followed by test duration, but make sure that you do copy paste. You will copy paste చేయండి, so that you will not run into any typos. You will not do any typing mistakes. -J followed by test duration is equal to, let's say I want to run it for only 1 minute, or no, not 1 minute is too less. I'll give it as 5 minutes. Okay. Now the test will run for only 20 users. Ramp up period will be 20, and duration will be 5 minutes. Is the test running? Clear, guys? Hey, I need to change the data, right? Sorry, I stopped the test. If you want to stop the test, forcibly, Control C, use Control C on the command prompt. Use Control C and you will get this. It will ask for a confirmation. Do you want to stop it really? Type yes. Clear, guys? Now, so let us change the data. We need to change the test data, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Script review, Krishna script kadadi. Properties file vadadi. Yeah. So I'll change the test data quickly. I'll change the test data. Bala OS anadu. So I'll change it to Control C, Control H. I'll replace it to Pavananta. Okay. To replace all. Done. That's it. So unique data is ready now. Now trigger the test. Okay. Trigger the test now with these parameters now. And change the, if you don't see, if you give the same JTL file name, it will be overwritten. If you don't want to overwrite, give some other file name. That's it. You need to change. And you give your, user load, target user load, ramp up period, and duration. Right. Now this is how we use JMeter properties. Now if you did not hard code the values in the script, right? If you don't hard code the values in the script, right? Now you can change the value from the command prompt. Every time you run the test, you can specify whatever values you want. You can specify the target user load, whatever the target user load you want to run, whatever ramp up period you want to give, and whatever test duration you want to run. Right? You need not copy the scripts every time back and forth from your office laptop to remote machine and remote machine to office laptop, particularly if it is Windows Linux machine. Okay, if it is Windows box, you can change it there. You can change the numbers there. You can open it in GUI mode and you can change it. Clear, guys? So this is the purpose of JMeter properties, and this is how we use it. Now let me show you that the test is running with only 20 users now. Okay, we need to verify it, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no, guys?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we can.
Let us verify it, that the test is running with only 20 users. See the count. You see 20 matches? Yes or no?
Yes.
AOS user registration script is being run by 20 users only now, because we specified the property as 20, isn't it? Okay, so this is how we use the JMeter properties. Okay, I'll stop it here for today. We'll continue tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Sir,
And
recording
it will run
will
for, ramp up period will be, 20 seconds, right? You can check that also. See, at what time this ramp up started, approximately at 1329, 16 seconds. And by 35 seconds, it is completed, right? Maybe first user started at, 15 seconds, 1329, 16 seconds. And in exactly 20 seconds, ramp up is completed. All the 20 users got ramped up in 20 seconds, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
19 seconds, basically 19 seconds, right? So ramp up period is completed in the specified duration, and test will run for 5 minutes, because we gave the duration here as
300 seconds.
Duration as
300.
300 seconds. Test will run for 5 minutes. All right. So this is how we use JMeter properties. Now, if you want to run the same test for another client with different numbers, you can pass it from command prompt. You need not update the script every time. You need not touch the script. You can pass those values from the command prompt if you specified the JMeter properties, right? So that's all I have for today. Any queries before we close today's session?
Yeah, one question, Anna.
What is it?
The class document look sir.
That
note
is there in the JMeter training content. ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి నీకు JMeter training content.
దీని గురించి కాదన్న క్లాస్ డాక్యుమెంట్
క్లాస్ డాక్యుమెంట్
లోడ్ టెస్ట్ 5000 యూజర్స్ కి 2 hours పడుతుంది కదా. అప్పుడు సోక్ టెస్ట్ మనం మెన్షన్ చేయాల్సింది 70 to 80%, 60 to 80%. అంటే 3000 అండ్ 3000 ఆ 4000 యూజర్స్. అంటే డ్యూరేషన్ 1 hour లోనే కంప్లీట్ అయిపోతుంది కదా. మరి దానికి సోక్ టెస్ట్ లాంగ్ డ్యూరేషన్ కదా. మేబీ 1 day 2 days అవుతుంది. మరి ఇది
1 hour లో ఎందుకు కంప్లీట్ అవుతుంది? You need to give more test data for soak test, and you need to specify the duration as per your requirement.
Okay, I understand.
So Niku, that is why when you are creating the scripts, right, you need to see how much time each iteration is taking. For example, user registration is taking 1 minute. So 1 minute lo 1 minute ki, if you want one user ID, suppose you need to run user registration script with 1000 users. So per minute we have to give 1000 values. So if you are planning to run a test for 1 hour, you have to give, you need to multiply that with number of seconds, 3600 into, minutes. Minutes. Iteration, let us assume that one iteration is taking one minute, right? So then, 60 into that, 1000 users, right?
1000.
So 6000 eval if you want to run the test for 1 hour, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
So you keep some buffer also. Anyways, pacing time untadu kabatti that will act as a buffer.
Yeah.
Right? So that is why, when you are running a smoke test, you need to observe like how much time each script is taking per iteration. And then you need to prepare the test data accordingly. You need to give that much test data.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Any other queries? Okay, I'll stop it here. I need to go home now, and I'm feeling hungry.
Okay, thank you.
సార్ అప్లోడ్ చేయండి సార్ త్వరగా రికార్డింగ్.
అంత అర్జెంట్ ఏముంది? యు వాచ్ ద సెషన్, రైట్?
చేసి డౌట్స్ ఉంటే చూసుకొని చేద్దామని సార్ ప్యారలల్.
ఓకే.